Sentire Media.
Welcome to the Stop Italian Sounding podcast, uncovering authentic Italian food. I'm your host, Robert Campana, and join me as we delve into the rich heritage of genuine Italian food, exploring its legends, history, and traditions. Through important tips and insightful interviews with industry professionals, you'll gain a deeper understanding of authentic Italian food. Welcome back, everyone, to the Stop Italian Sounding show, uncovering authentic Italian food. So, for today's show, I want to share with you how to decode a confusing label when it comes to purchasing so-called Italian products. Of course, you may already know the Italian-sounding phenomenon is present everywhere around the world, especially in the United States, where about 2 out of every 3 products are quote-unquote imitations. So, how do you know what to look for on the label so you aren't duped the next time you food shop? Well, the idea for today's show came to me actually while I was on the road, and I was talking to somebody about olive oil. He was raving about this olive oil, and at one point he said that it's Italian because on the bottle it said imported from Italy. So, of course, there are many different marketing tactics that companies will use to make the consumer look at one part of the label and maybe not notice another part. Now, of course, I'm not totally against these strategies because, yes, it is part of marketing, as long as you aren't flat out lying. Now, in the case of quote unquote Italian products, we see many different things that could make a consumer want to purchase it. First and foremost, the more Italian elements there are on the packaging, the less Italian it probably is. So, for example, if you see green, white, and red with the rolling hills of Tuscany and a stereotypical Italian looking guy, you probably should question it. It's been my experience that real Italian products don't always have elements of quote unquote Italianness on the packaging. I guess it's because they aren't always trying to deceive the consumer and distract him or her into looking away from where the actual product comes from. So, aside from the exaggerated Italianness, you may see things written in big gold or red words like imported from Italy, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, or packed in Italy, made in Italy, or even product of Italy. But what are the main differences between all of them? Well, I want to help you understand what they mean so you're not duped the next time you food shop. So let's start with the famous quote unquote imported from Italy. It means just that a product was imported or shipped from Italy to a foreign market. It has nothing to do with the actual raw material. It's not a lie to have the words imported from Italy on the packaging, unless, of course, the product wasn't imported from Italy. Next, it's also quite common to see the words packed in Italy. Again, in big words, oftentimes on the front of the product. And again, not a lie because it literally means that a product was put in its packaging in Italy. Has nothing to do with the raw material. Next, we may see made in Italy. And made in Italy is another common thing that causes a lot of confusion for consumers. It means that the raw materials were put together to form the final product in Italy. Those raw materials could either be Italian or not. A lot of times they aren't Italian. They're just simply transformed into the final product in Italy. Of course, if it's done with an Italian company, then the company's know-how is used. Lastly, we have the words product of Italy. This is a guarantee that the raw materials in the final product are indeed Italian. Now, I'm not here to say that all products of Italy are of high quality because that's definitely not the case, as there are many low quality products of Italy. I'm just here to help you to simply understand what you're getting. As we said in the previous examples of imported from Italy, packed in Italy, and made in Italy, these companies really like to use the word Italy because they know that when it comes to food and beverage, Italy definitely has an upper hand and is recognized around the world as a culinary superpower. However, to be fair, imported from Italy, packed in Italy, and made in Italy are not lies at all. They mean specifically what they say. They're just a little deceiving, as they're often written in big, bold letters. However, if you go read where the product actually comes from, you'll probably be surprised. You have to go look for product of ... and then the list of countries. Like I said before, I'm not here to discuss the quality of the products, but just simply how to make your shopping experience more transparent. Product of Italy is the only guarantee that is actually Italian. Now, are there bad players out there? Of course there are. And sometimes there are companies outside of Italy that lie, and other times there are actual Italian companies within Italy that lie. But of course, that doesn't mean that just because there are a few bad apples that they're all like that. Again, productability is what you should be looking for if you're interested in Italian products. I should also mention that besides Italian companies selling authentic products of Italy, yes, it is possible for a foreign company to sell a product of Italy as well. Maybe it is, for example, an American company that purchases that, let's just say, pasta and then resells it. Or maybe it has a production facility in Italy. So don't be fooled if you see an American brand that says product of Italy. That actually is possible. Quality, again, who knows? Anyway, as we wrap up today's short episode, I just wanted to provide you with some insight on how to decipher some labels of Italian or Italian sounding products so you aren't misled the next time you shop. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the stories of authentic Italian cuisine. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast for more insights and interviews. Also, feel free to reach out with your thoughts or questions on our social media channels at Stop Italian Sounding or on our website, stopitasounding.com. Grazie a tutti e alla prossima.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.